My name's Jamie Simmons. I'm from Ohio in the Midwest. A little background about me. I am 43 years old. I am a product of divorce. My parents have been separated and divorced since I was very little. I have a stepdad that's been a part of my life my whole life, pretty much. And then I have my dad and my stepmom, and I have a half brother. However, I've been no contact with them since, 2020. My dad's a narcissist, and I didn't realize what that was until way later in life. But as soon as I had kids, I had to figure out what was going on there, and we tried therapy. It didn't work, and I realized that the only way to deal with that was really kind of remove myself from the situation, because after I had kids, my anxiety kind of got out of control. I realized how things were going, and so that's where that went. However, my mom has been a huge support in my life, and nothing but good things to say there. So just rewinding a little bit, my childhood, I was born with white and brown hair. So right here it was white, and then back here was brown. And so I looked like a skunk, and that wasn't cool in the 80s. So I was bullied a lot in school. So if we're piling on, we have traumas of my separated parents, also my dad's narcissism. I was bullied with my hair, and then leading into high school, my mom was pretty controlling. Everything good now, but I think that led to a little bit of rebellion. So through high school and early college, there was a lot of rebelling and drinking and drugs. Sorry, Mom, if you see this, but luckily I survived. She did enroll me in college, and I did okay in high school. I kind of made it through, but I never really paid attention to what was happening there. I couldn't tell you what I learned. And I learned that now as I'm trying to help my daughters. And then in college, I have a bachelor's of arts in psychology and loved learning. I had so much fun learning. I could have probably went to school forever to learn more, later to become a special interest. But after college and I got my degree, I didn't really venture down any type of paths of using my degree. I worked for a wholesale jewelry company, and then I spent 18 years in telecommunications, and I kind of climbed my way up. I worked in customer service, I worked in business sales, I worked in indirect sales, and then that's where I kind of found my passion, which was helping people and uncovering issues and getting deep in the weeds of fixing problems. So I landed in operations, and I loved that job, and I made a name for myself within that role. I supported the country with a national retailer, and with a couple reorgs, I ended up getting moved over to a marketing job, and I liked it, and it was great, and I still supported the entire country. I had 300 account managers. I was helping fix issues, doing things I liked, digging in new processes, whatnot, and then I no longer supported them because their position got eliminated, and this is kind of where burnout kicked in, and I realized that I had more going on than I thought. I was making changes, but no one cared anymore. No one was helping me. I had no one in my corner, so it just kept piling on that I had no validation. During this time, I was I couldn't think anymore. I couldn't process, and come to find out that these are part of my burnout symptoms. It's also during COVID. I had 2 children. I was trying to teach. I was trying to figure out what was going on with me, and then that's kind of I'd been on anxiety medicine for about, 10 years or so, and I went to the doctors, and I melted down, and I cried, and I'm I don't know what's going on with me. My anxiety medicine isn't working. I can't focus. I think I have ADHD. Took me about a year, and I finally got a diagnosis, and hey, I've been setting up different ways to manage my ADHD, and now what I'm dealing with is my daughter. So I have a 9-year-old daughter that I believe has PDA. It's PDA autism. So as I'm learning more about that, I'm starting to think I have that, but I'm currently dealing with her assessment and her diagnosis. So I guess if you want to know my acronyms, official anxiety, official ADHD, working on autism. So that's me in a nutshell. So my burnout hit when I went through not supporting anyone. I didn't feel valued. I couldn't really get the support I needed, even with my ADHD diagnosis, and it just kind of all came crumbling down, and I asked the universe, I was I need help. So my company actually had a voluntary severance package, and I'm hell yeah, sign me up. I'm ready to go. I don't want to be here anymore. I can't handle this. I can't parent. I'm not my true self. I got to go. I was successful. I did amazing. I always had to find answers. I was always trying to help someone else. I was always trying to fix things. And when I got to the point where no one would listen to me when I had something that I know that was valuable and they wouldn't listen, it kind of just took me to a level of frustrating. And I think I was also really learning how to unmask at this point. So I was being my true self. I was being pissed off when things weren't happening the way I needed them. I wasn't people pleasing. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was saying what I wanted to fix. I wasn't fixing what everyone else wanted me to fix, which is what I did all through my operations career, because I didn't have anyone to support. Burnout just piled on and piled on and piled on. And it just looked like I was bitter and I was upset. And so thankfully I was able to get out of that. So I guess my post burnout is like what I'm going through now. And I don't even know if it's like post burnout or if I'm still working through it, but I've done a lot of self-discovery. I've done a lot of like, who am I? What do I like? Because everything that I've liked has always been what everyone else has liked. It's been like what my kids like, what my husband likes, what everyone at my work likes, what they needed me to be. I was a chameleon. That was my mask, is like people pleased my friends as a child. I people pleased all through my career. I people pleased probably my kids and my spouse and just did what everyone else liked. And so now I have time to myself. I actually have over a year to figure out what I like and what I want to do. And it's taking me a while. I'm almost like 2 months in and I'm still trying to figure out who it is and what I like. And it's been a journey and just eye-opening to realize like the misdiagnosis, like I could be a totally different person and I could have lived a more happy life and a more rewarding life doing something that I liked for me instead of what I thought everyone else wanted me to be and like. And so I guess I got a do-over, and that's kind of where I am now, as I'm starting my do-over, and I'm trying not to people please. I'm trying to be my authentic self. I'm trying to find my passions. I found out that I'm very, I really enjoy being creative. I liked to color as a kid. I like to do a lot of art and poetry, and looking back, I didn't even remember that. So I'm now created a print-on-demand business, and I do that for fun. I just draw on Canva, and I make products with that. So that's been an experience. Being unmasked has been freeing, I guess. I feel like I know now that I don't really have anxiety. I think I do have ADHD 100%. I think my anxiety was a mixed diagnosis. Like my brain just goes a bajillion miles a minute. And I think that's like the ADHD and like the undiagnosed autism. Because I'm very like particular on things, but I'm also chaotic, and it's like ebbs and flows, and just knowing who I am has been really exciting. I'm kind of in this like hibernation stage though, so I'm not around people a lot, but I get very drained. But I finally made the decision to like do what I want, so I say no a lot more now. So it's been a relief to like be my true self and like say no to things that I don't want to do, and like just be a little more relaxed. Even with family, I've created boundaries. Like if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. And if I think they're doing something wrong and I don't want to be around it, I'll tell them that. So that's been very good mentally for my health. I'm very excited about the progress that I've made. I think it's going to be a forever journey or a longer journey than that. I have found myself every once in a while when I'm making myself a priority and I'm being my true self, I'll get looks from my spouse and my kids about like, Mom, you're kind of weird. Like it was nothing I would have ever said before, but now I just like, it comes out of my mouth. If I have a thought about aliens, I'm going to talk about aliens. Or if I want to talk about like all the conspiracies of the world, I'll say it and they'll give me looks, and I still kind of, it's not really masking it, but I still kind of say like, all right, here's some crazy for you, but it's just me being me, and now I'm going to talk about it and they don't like it. Like they're just going to have to listen anyway, because that's who I am and that's what it's going to be about. It'll be interesting when I expand this out to when I get out of hibernation stage and maybe talk to more people about it. I'm kind of like dabbling and putting it on social media just so people that I know can see like who I really am. And it actually fuels me when I act like that, when I act like myself, and I live a little more authentically, because I know I'm here for bigger things. I know I'm here. I went through a lot of CPTSD, I don't know all the acronyms, as a child, being raised by a narcissist, and overcoming that and dealing with that trauma and healing from it, along with a lifetime of masking. I think my work here is to help others and maybe get them to live more authentic and have them look at life differently and maybe make it through. I think my daughter's kind of pulled this out of me, just going down the path of like learning how to parent her. She's low demand parent just because I'm still waiting on her autism diagnosis, but it's the best thing I can do for her is let her be her true self, not judge her, not control her and whatnot. So life is amazing on the other side of the mask. I'll say that much. So what I would tell my younger me, I did a lot of healing in the last, couple months. So I've actually been down this road after a lot of meditations and going back to little me and talking to little me. I've learned that I needed to tell little me, you are loved and how you really feel matters, and you don't have to be someone you're not. And you have a big purpose in this world. And although it's hard what you're going through, you're going to come out ahead of it. It's going to make you a person that's able to help others that maybe are going through the same thing and living in that facade of wearing the mask and dealing with all the issues that no one knew how to diagnose. And you're going to have a child that's going to have a better life because of you, and you're going to break all those cycles and problems that you had to deal with and maybe generations before. I had plenty of family members before my dad that also didn't talk to their parents, and it's just because this has kind of been just handed down, and we're gonna stop it, and we're gonna fix it. We're gonna make sure it doesn't happen for my child, and she's gonna be authentic. She's gonna wear mismatched pajamas. She's gonna tell me where I'm wrong, and I'm gonna agree with her or encourage her or tell her why she's right and I'm wrong, or we're gonna come to some sort of better resolution. And we're doing that gentle parenting because everything she says is valid, and her feelings deserve to be validated, and mine were not. And I had to live a life of following the rules and doing things that didn't make sense because my opinion didn't matter before, and now it does. And so just hang in there. It's all happening for a reason. You have a purpose, and your true purpose is going to be to help others. So keep going, and you are loved, and it's all going to be okay. Just know that you're a great person, and things are going to all work out for you. So something that I wish I could tell people about being unmasked is that if you are your true self and you unmask, the people that resonate with you and your personality and who you really are will make their way to you, and you'll have a more fulfilling life surrounded by people that appreciate you no matter what. If they're not supposed to be in your life, they're not going to be in your life. And if you follow your path, you're actually going to realize that things work out for you. That's what I'm noticing. If I'm who I'm supposed to be, the stars just start aligning, and surround myself with people I enjoy. I'm doing things that I enjoy. My mental health is better. I wake up every morning knowing that I have a purpose that's my purpose, and doing things that I want to do. And I'm just in a better headspace. Medicine isn't the answer. I mean, it helps still get my brain in order. But the true answer is being who you are and living your truth, because that kind of just makes your life so much more enjoyable. It is sad to see how many people have fallen out of my life and my path, but I think they were part of my journey for a reason, and there was a lesson there that I had to learn having them in my life. I think I could probably count on my hands and toes how many narcissists I've run into in my life with my magnetism to people pleasing and wearing that mask. I experienced a lot of that, and that was no fun being that people pleaser person, but it's who I was, and it's not who I am anymore. And so now my journey is telling people how to be their true self, and I'm actually going back to school to become a coach, learning more about living more holistically, spiritually. I went through a spiritual awakening not long ago, and that's a big journey too, especially living your true self and trying to see all those truths and tell people that are still not in that truth level has been interesting. But this is a true testament of living authentically, because if you believe different values than the entire society, get ready, especially with someone with autism. Oof, I got a lot to say. I'm going to try to bring them to where I am and where my headspace is, because I spent my whole life not doing that, and it's freeing. It really is. And I think it's part of my path. I was supposed to be masked to be this unmasked version of me to help society and get everyone else to live more authentically, and I'm ready for it. Yeah, I'm ready for my my purpose, and so here we go.